in positions, everyone.
Camera 1 into effect.
2-second
Camera
pre-roll.
1, track left.
Open lock.
Watch your focus,
Cue challenge.
Lindsay.
We're on the air.
Kids wanna know. Kids wanna know. Kids wanna know.
Here's something new on Kids Wanna Know. It's called I Wanna Be. Now, all you have to do is tell me what you want to be when you grow up, like a basketball player or a doctor, or like me, a pilot. I went out and talked with a flight instructor to find out just exactly what we need to do to become pilots. So if you want to be one too, listen up. After talking with Kevin McGrath, a flight instructor, I found out getting your pilot's license is a lot simpler than I thought. There are 5 things you have to do. You have to have 20 hours of flying with an instructor or dual flying, 20 hours of solo flying by yourself. You have to pass a medical test, a written test, and a practical test. Now that's a lot of studying, but it's not as hard as it sounds. When you first start out, the instructor will take you on an introductory flight. This is to familiarize you with the airplane, explain the flight controls and the instruments. Okay, Kevin, what do I need to know about this dashboard here before we go up?
Okay, I'll explain all the instruments to you. Did you get all that, Chris?
Yeah, I got all that. Right about now, you start getting a little nervous, but because you're concentrating on what you have to do to take off, you forget about being scared.
Okay, I'm going to get you started on the center line.
Okay.
I'm going to get you lined up. I'd like you to advance the throttle when I ask for it. Just use one finger to hold it in. Bring the yoke back to the hole, and I'll ask for an inch when I feel that we're not flying. Okay, go ahead and advance full power.
Yeah, that was easy enough. Well, this is the fun part, but there's other things you have to do. Now, you said there's a medical test that they need to pass. What exactly, why do they need to pass a medical test?
Well, the FAA wants to make sure that you're not going to have any problems while you're up there flying the airplane. So it's just a basic medical. They need to make sure that you're not going to have any spasms or any seizures while you're up there. And it's similar to just a basic medical they'd give anyone.
How about for your eyes?
Corrected vision is all that's needed. You can wear glasses and be a pilot.
And what about that written test I heard about?
Well, that's probably the most fearful part of flying. Everybody loves to fly, but nobody likes to study for tests. The written test is necessary so that we make sure that you have a basic fundamental knowledge of what it takes to become a pilot, how the airplane flies, what the rules and regulations are. Just like there are laws for traffic on the road, there are laws for airplanes. And we want to make sure that you understand the laws and are going to be willing to follow them.
We know the tough part. So what's the fun part about flying?
Well, the freedom. I mean, that's number one. You can take off and you're by yourself, just you and the birds. There's unlimited places to go. You get a whole different perspective of the world from a plane.
Great! But let's get back to some of the things we need to complete. It takes between 5 and 15 hours of dual flying with an instructor to become good at soloing, but you need to complete 20 hours.
That's not so bad.
Next, you move on to solo flying, where you're all by yourself. Now, this can be scary, but fun too. Kind of like riding your bike without training wheels for the first time.
Little turbulence there, but we're okay.
When you get good, move on to advanced stuff like simulated emergency landings, stalls, and deep turns.
I'm ready for more now.
It takes the average student or working adult about 3 months to complete the course. And if you were wondering how old you have to be,
Now, what's the youngest you can be? Not necessarily to be a pilot, but to be able to get up here and fly, even if it's with somebody.
I have a 12-year-old daughter that's got about 20 hours in. She started flying when she was 4. And she's been flying with me ever since. As far as the certificate, they can get a student pilot certificate at 16 years of age. They can be a pilot at 17, and they can be a commercial pilot at 18.
and if you're wondering if you can make a living doing this, you can be a traffic reporter, crop duster, instructor, airlines pilot, or one of several other jobs. Now let's see. We've done 20 hours of dual, 20 hours of solo, pass the medical and written tests. Oh yes, there's one more thing.
The practical test is when you get with a designated examiner and he takes you up, and it's just like the driving test when you go for a car, when the examiner gets in the car. He's going to put you through the paces. He's going to ask to see a takeoff. He's going to ask to see landings, more than one. He's going to have you perform all the maneuvers that would normally be required to fly that airplane. And basically what he's there for is the final check, okay, to make sure that this person is going to be a safe pilot. Once you perform everything to his satisfaction, you're a certified pilot as of that day. Okay, where are we looking?
At the end of the runway.
A little bumpier than last time.
Perhaps the ugliest landing I've ever made.
Now you've learned almost everything you need to do to become a pilot. The only other thing is to remember, you can be anything you want, but you have to try and do your best. Oh, and how did I feel about flying?
All right, thank you very much. That was awesome. I'm ready to head back up.
Kids Want to Know will be right back.